Okay.
Everybody recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Gabby, you're gonna do the intro on three. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, we're back today. Stars on the mic. I'm Elton Aguilera, and today I have the honor of interviewing.
Fadi Garcia, President and CEO of Parent to Parent of Miami.
We have Parent to Parent on. This is one we've been working hard to make this, the coordinate schedule and everything, make this happen, but we're finally making it happen. I'm so proud to have Parent to Parent on, and we're going to hear all the wonderful things Parent to Parent has to do for our community, how they service the families, and the brief history of Parent to Parent. So this is amazing. So thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So for families that may not know, can you tell us briefly what is Parent to Parent? How did all this start, and what is it you guys exactly do for the community?
Well, Parent to Parent of Miami is considered a parent resource center, and we help families specifically here in Miami-Dade County. So we work with families who have children with disabilities,
Okay.
all the way from birth, all the way to young adults. And so, the way that it came about really was other parents coming together. And so 36 years ago, a group of parents came together looking for resources in our community. And they wanted to find a network of other parents that can help them along. And, there are a lot of issues with disability, special education, so much to know. And it's always so much better when you have the support network of other parents. So that's how Parent to Parent came to be. So we are happy to have been in this community for this, so many years.
That's incredible. And what is your official title and role here at Parent to Parent?
Well, I am proud to say that I am the president and CEO of this amazing organization. And I've been in this role for 3 years now, but with the organization for 20 years.
Oh, wow. So you just worked your way up the ranks.
I did. I started as a board member when my son was very young. So my youngest son has autism. And so it brought me to Parent of Miami. And so I started on the board of trustees, got all the way up to president, and then I resigned, and then I came on board as a manager, then operations manager for a good, 15 years. And then now, like I said, for the last 3 as president and CEO.
So you oversee the direct operation, day-to-day operations of everything?
Yep.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. This is awesome. So we have the CEO of Parent to Parent here, and we're going to discuss all the stuff Parent to Parent has to offer. So what is it Parent to Parent could do directly to help a family? They have a child with a disability, they need help. What is it Parent to Parent could do to help just make everything better for that family, make their lives better, help the child get resources they need? How do you guys come about it?
Well, for us, it's really easy, Elton. So we have an easy referral process where a parent can just call in. We get referrals from our community, from different agencies, and really our work is real simple. The mission is to be able to have another parent who's calling in for help be able to talk to one of our education support specialists.
Okay.
And our education support specialists are parents of children with disability.
Oh, I love
so
that.
that is the uniqueness
I love that.
of Parent to Parent. That's why it's one parent helping another parent.
And parents get it.
And parents get it. And so you do have this opportunity to have this great bond that really does happen through the work, because the other parent on the other line knows that it's a parent that is listening in. Yeah, and so we're all on the same journey, right?
It's a journey, yes.
It's a big journey. And so you have parents that are reaching out for help, and they may be in different parts of their journey. Some are starting off. So for us, our work can be anywhere from young toddlers all the way up to youth. And we help the parents wherever they're at. So it could be that parent who may be hearing for the first time that their child has been diagnosed with a disability. And they're, of course, overwhelmed. There's a lot of emotions that flood in, and they're lost. So it's a big system to navigate. You start learning all these acronyms, all these letters. What are they telling me? And so
everything has an acronym.
Everything has an acronym. And so we're helping them understand it. We're asking them to just pause, and take in the information and do the best that they can. We reassure them that they will get it along the way. And so what we want to do as a parent center is really get them the information that they need specifically for their child's disability, so they really understand what they're going to be dealing with. We get them information on community resources so they don't feel alone.
Okay.
We want to make sure that they're getting the therapies that they need. And, if they're school aged, do they already in the process of special education? Do they need to start the process? And what does it all mean? So we help them along the way. And we'll do it as much as they need. So some parents, are go-getters. They may be, knowledgeable for their backgrounds and they just run with the information and the referrals that we do. Others need a little bit more one-on-one, but we want to make sure they get the information that they need. They're hooked up to resources. They become good advocates for the children because
Yes.
they become their
The
kids'
biggest advocate.
best advocates.
Yes.
But with that, you need knowledge. And so one of the biggest things that we do is provide a lot of workshops. So we have ongoing workshops. We can have 4 to 8 workshops a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a month. And the best thing is that it's all free of charge to the families,
Amazing.
free of charge to the families, and it's provided in English and Spanish. So we
Even
know
better,
that we
yes.
have a big Spanish, Hispanic population, and we really want to make sure. And that's what we work really hard towards, to be able to get those grants and maintain the grants so that we can still provide all the information free of charge.
How do you guys assist families when they're just starting their schooling, journey, or they're already in school and the kid needs services at school? Like, how do you guys assist with that?
Yeah. Well, what happens a lot of times is sometimes we get parents who call in and they're saying, my child is struggling and their grades are slipping, and it's been
I'm getting complaints all the time.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
getting complaints all the time. They're not getting the good grades that they used to before. As kids go on in the grades, it becomes more challenging. And so a lot of times, or they were said, my teacher mentioned something, and I really don't know what to do. So one of the biggest things that we try to do is have the parents understand that it's, first of all, it's a process.
Yes.
That to access special education services in the public school system is a process. But that we're here to guide them. So we try to say, sometimes we even say, I've been telling my teacher and nothing's happening. And we say, well, the problem is that you're not going about it the right way. If there is a formal process where you have to request a meeting, where you have to request an evaluation. Parents have to give consent, something that they don't realize. Then
And
not
all that
until
takes
they
time,
say, yeah, go ahead and let's start this process of evaluation, doesn't it all start. So we try to help them, to guide them with what are the timelines that are available, how can they help the process along with documentation. They might have things already. So really we're here to just say, okay, here's what the process is supposed to look like, and then what it's supposed to have as the end product. So we let them know, okay, you gotta sign consent, and there's an evaluation, and then the team gets together. You get to hear what the evaluation showed, and then at that point, they'll get to say, are you eligible for special education services? And one of the things that's really important for us is for our parents to realize that the school system doesn't diagnose anything,
No.
right? They are only found eligible for special education services.
Correct. Yes.
So they can help if they have some type of diagnosis already that's medical. They can present that as part of the paperwork. But then we let them know, okay, so now your child is eligible for services. What are the different categories, right? The federal disability
Yes.
categories are very specific categories. And so we help them along understanding how they can find eligibility, and then what does it mean? What is this IEP that nobody knows about? What's an educational plan? It's very specific to your child.
A fab, a bib, all
Yeah,
that
and
stuff.
then all those things along the way that might
acronyms,
need
yeah.
to happen. And so, but for them to realize that not until they have this IEP in place, right, they have the staffing and they go through, and the team that's in front of them is supposed to be a team of professionals that are going to help their child, right, with the services, the goals, the accommodations, everything that they need so their child can be successful. Because at the end, every child with a disability is entitled to what you call FAPE, a free and appropriate public education.
Correct. Yes.
And we are really big sticklers to say, with the appropriate supports and services, great things can happen. But parents need to be knowledgeable.
Yes.
They need to be able to be good advocates so that they can say and ask the right questions and be
Correct.
able to show the team that they themselves are very knowledgeable and the questions, because at the end, everyone involved should be doing what is best so that child can be successful in school.
Yes, and it's very important. Parents all the time, a lot of them don't know their rights during this whole process. They have a lot of rights.
You have a
Like you
lot
said,
of
but
rights,
the education to learn all that is so important.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I studied special education in college, literally the first thing they teach you is if it's on the IEP, you have to do it.
Right.
That-
It is. It's a legal
yeah,
document.
it's a legal
It's a
document.
legal document.
That's literally the first thing they teach you in college.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy you guys get to do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents get so confusing, overwhelmed with the process because it's a lot. It's a lot. You went to a room with a whole
Yeah.
team of professionals.
It's
A-
overwhelming.
It very is. A lot of times parents feel it's us against them.
Right.
But like you said, at the end of the day, it's all what's best for the child. So the child can be properly educated, receive the services they need. But it comes down to the parents who need to know their rights. They need to be educated. They need to know the process. So that's amazing that you kind of walk them through it.
And we let them know that it should be a team effort, that
Yes.
they're not there, that the school system is not there to not provide the services. That's not the intention at all. On the
No.
contrary, you're supposed to be, but parents need to feel that they are part of the team. And the
Yes.
team should give the parent also that ability to express their concerns, and what they see for their children, because they too also, sometimes our kids do things at home that they may not be doing at school, but
That is-
you
yeah.
want them to feel, parents need to know their rights and feel that yes, they have a part of this team, and sometimes even when things get a little
Hairy,
hairy, a
yeah,
little
yeah.
contentious at times, I think everyone that needs to always step back and say, what is the best for this student? And at times parents need to realize that sometimes resources are a little bit limited, but that shouldn't limit also what is provided to the student. And so how do we get to that better place where everyone wins, but the biggest winner has to be that student?
Always, always a child. What workshops do you guys have available for the parents?
Well, we have a lot of different workshops. We have one that's very specific for the federal law, for the
Okay.
Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is the law federally that
Federal law.
governs special education services. And so we have a very specialized workshop that we provide on IDA and that IEP, the Individualized Education Plan. And we usually do those on Saturdays. They are 4 hours long, so they're chunked in 2 hours for IDA and 2 hours for the IEP. They're very intense, but they're amazing because within that, parents really get to learn a lot about what the federal law states. Sometimes parents for the first time, their child may have had an IEP in place. They may be doing special education services, but they really just don't understand.
It
and
is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And sometimes they say, oh, they think the school's doing them a favor by having them in these and providing these special accommodations and services. It's like, no, they need to do that. It is federal law. And it's a right that these students with disabilities have.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want them to understand it. And so those workshops are provided English and Spanish, and sometimes we have them once, if not twice, every month.
Oh, really? That's
So
incredible.
they're always ongoing. They're always ongoing. We found that on Saturdays, it's a chunk of 4 hours, but we tell parents you need to invest time. And so they're virtual. So
Okay.
anybody can log on, they log in, they get to do, this amazing training, and they really get to know more so that it's sometimes like their eyes are opened. Wow, I didn't realize that's how it was
Yes.
supposed to happen, and I didn't realize I was supposed to be part of it. And also learning for them that, as their kids get older, right, as kids become youth, and they enter into what we call transition. At this point, even in Florida, at 12, students are supposed to be in transition services. But it's so important for that youth to start understanding how those services affect them, how it helps them in school, so that then the goal is for them to then become participants also in their IEP and be able to, speak for themselves.
Yeah, 'cause I think once they reach a certain age, we start inviting the children to the IEP meetings. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the youth are supposed to come
Yeah.
already to those meetings. And, we know that it's supposed to be at 12. And so we encourage parents, maybe 12 might be a little young, but definitely 14, 15.
14, 15, 16. The high
You-
schooler kids, I see them. Yeah, they go to them.
Definitely, yeah.
It's always recommended the high schoolers
Yeah, the
attend your
high
IEP
schoolers.
meeting. Attend your IEP.
Right, because what happens there is that you're supposed to be working towards then what happens after they finish school.
Yeah.
What are their goals? What do they want to do? Do they want to work? Are they going to college? I mean, do they want to get a vocational, certificate somewhere?
Yeah, and then the question is, they do move on to college, then there are questions of accommodations in college.
Sure.
All that comes up.
Yeah, and at that point, it is the student.
Yeah.
Parents are not involved anymore. It is a student who has to ask for those accommodations at the university, at the college level.
Yeah, once
so
they're
youth
18,
need to know
yeah.
that. Besides, one of the biggest things that we do is to try to empower our youth. right? As kids get older, they need to understand, how is this disability affecting them?
Yes.
You know, how is this going to impact their future? And so that they can voice any concerns, any questions that they have, but also too to be able to talk to someone and say, well, I happen to have X disability, and that's why I need to do things this way versus this other way. And there's no right or wrong.
No.
Everyone's just different. And so when you, as someone who has a disability, are able to explain, then you're able to, get other people to help you.
Yeah, like the ability to self-advocate, it's huge. And I've always said it, when you work inclusion, special needs, the goal is always independence. Independence is different for everybody, but independence is always the goal. And yes, everything changes once they turn 18, so the ability to self-advocate is huge, especially in college. I need help, I know in high school I needed extra time, so services and accommodation in college is huge. So that's amazing that the children should and can be involved in the process and all the trainings and workshops. Besides workshops for like IEPs and special education services, what other workshops do you guys provide for the families?
So we try to provide workshops on many different topics because we know that there's so many needs in the community, besides the fact that we work with all disabilities.
Okay.
So we can be bringing in professionals for behavioral concerns, right? We can be bringing in parents who need younger kids. So we're talking about early intervention services for them.
So important.
Really important to start young. We can be bringing in and talking about what is, occupational therapy, how does it help? ABA services, how do those help? And then as you move on, you can be talking about, there's concerns about mental health. So we bring in counselors to talk and have very specialized services and topics on those. And then you have everything from, as kids get older, we're talking about guardianships.
Very important.
Really important. Some kids will need to require guardianships and, need help from their parents for the rest of their life. We can be talking about benefits. So we can share with parents what is available out there. Are there youth now going to be needing Social Security benefits?
Yes.
Are
STS.
they going, special transportation? We can be talking about going in and VR, so vocational rehab also. For employment, and VR also helps with future schooling as well. So we really try to bring in, and then just, what do they need? Do you need specialized trusts sometimes to be set up? You can have things like the Able United, how to save money without benefiting you, without hurting your benefits. We're talking, just so many different topics because they're all necessary. We can be talking about, all right, they're behavioral in school, and that's a big topic,
as
you know.
That's a big one. That's a hot one right now.
Yeah, so we talk to them and we say, okay, do you know that you can ask for, NFBA? Do you know that you can have a behavior intervention plan? How does that affect your student? How is that supposed to? So it can be everything and anything. We really do bring in a multitude of topics, and we bring in professionals. So some topics are led by us, and other topics that are very specific, we can bring in other community partners that will come in and provide that very specialized information, because again, at the end of the day, we want parents to have the knowledge, to be empowered and be able to go and know what is their next step. So they may be here today, what is tomorrow going to bring, and kind of be a few steps ahead when possible.
Awesome. And is there any fee charges for the families for any of these?
Everything is free of charge.
That's amazing. That's probably one of the top questions we get. Is there a fee? There's a charge, because we know a lot of people are on a financial crunch.
Yeah.
So all these resources, workshops are available to parents free of charge.
Completely free of charge. We are very lucky to be able to be funded through the Office of Special Education Programs. So it's a federal that comes through IDEA, where parent centers are funded to bring information to the families in the community. And we are also very much lucky to have the Children's Trust funding, which we have been able to hold since 2004. So for us, we are, really blessed to have those two big grants that allow us to bring all this information free of charge to the families, because we know that we are in a high need community.
Yes.
And so we want parents to, just because you may not have the language, just because you don't have the financial means, does not mean that you as a family have to struggle, that your child has to struggle in school. We want everyone to be successful, and we've seen amazing things throughout the years.
This is incredible, man.
Yeah.
What's another key, I guess you could say, program or workshop you guys have going on for parent to parent?
So we do a lot with the parents because the topic really is parent to parent, one
Yes.
parent helping another parent. But at the end of it, we're helping that child, right? That
Correct.
child, which, as we said earlier, the child grows, and now they are a youth. And so one of the nicest things we've started for the past 3 years now and has grown consistently is our Youth Engagement Council.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a nice group where you have a group of youth, anywhere from 15 to about 21, 22, that get together and they do monthly meetings virtually, and then they'll do an in-person every month or two. And, that is led through our transition department, our transition manager, and the education support specialist working with them. They do these great key activities where they're going out in the community and they're practicing skills, right?
Oh, that's incredible.
So they learn on their virtual meetings and they're practicing. They may be going to a restaurant and, through generous funding, we've been able to secure, for example, we can get them gift cards to be able to use on their outing. And so they get to practice what it is to order in a restaurant for themselves.
Yep.
How to pay. How is it appropriate to act in a restaurant, right? What to do, what not to do, how to tip, so if you bring in, those financial needs for that youth to be able to be independent and be able to full support themselves as much as they can.
I love that. I love it. In the school, we call it CBI, community-based instruction.
Yeah.
I've gone on a bunch of them, like you said, how to properly order food at a restaurant.
Yeah.
The one that the kids always get, they order food for $9.99, they'll pull out a 10, but then it's like 10.57, and then they like, what is all this? And taxes.
Taxes.
You got to explain taxes to them, and so that's a big one. That's amazing. So
Yeah.
they go out, they socialize.
They socialized, and this group has really grown so nicely together. They really enjoy their company. They're going to be doing a holiday get together next
that's
week.
awesome.
And so they encourage themselves. I think what's best is that you get to see, since you have all levels of abilities, you get where they're helping each other out. They're practicing social skills here, how to greet people, and they practice with each other. So it's really nice to be able to see that piece.
That's amazing.
They help each other. And what was nice was, at our gala that we just had last month, they were able to participate.
I saw that, yes.
And it was really nice to see. They had an amazing time. We were able to, thanks to some funding, be able to bring them on along with their parents. And, we had a mom who's like, I didn't even realize my son, knew how to dance so well. And so it was really, really special moment. And those are the things that we try to do. So besides the big grants that we have, we're always seeking little grants, little funding, extra to do these things because it takes extra money.
Yes.
So that's where our fundraising goes to be able to bring, additional activities to the families. And, so now in February we'll have a family engagement picnic where we provide a free day in the community for the families. We provide lunch, we do activities, we have dancing, we have, entertainment, and it's a day so that it's us giving back to our families. And we want to do a day where they feel good, safe. Our children can just be themselves. And if anybody has a meltdown, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. They have a little quiet zone. They get to chill for a little bit and nobody's judging. They're there just being themselves. And it really helps a parent be able to see themselves in a community with other families and network.
People that get it. They just get it. Kids having a meltdown, you're around other families that they just get it. They've all been there.
Yeah.
They get it.
Yeah, in different ways. And we cannot shy away, Elton, on how important it is to have that emotional connection and component. It really is that peer support really helps because parents feel very isolated. Sometimes the needs of our children are so great that they're just not able to cope sometimes. They have meltdowns in the stores and people are looking at them oddly. There's so much financial, stressors. So sometimes, parents hold back.
And they stop bringing their kids out more and more, which I'm always against. The parents I work with, I always know, just bring them, whatever happens, we'll work with it.
You work through it.
Bring it, like bring them. That. So that's amazing. That's awesome. I'm loving all of this.
Yeah, it's really important for us.
This is awesome. So who do we have to thank to help make all this possible, to help keep Parent to Parent going and everything?
Well, our two big grants, so lucky to have, like I said, for almost 25 years now, our federal grant through the Office of Special Education Programs. But really, the Children's Trust here locally has made a huge impact. They were able to allow us to, grow our program. and provide services. We help about 1,500 families a year
Wow.
here through, our parent center. So we are very lucky, in the entire community of Miami-Dade County is very lucky to have the Children's the Children's Trust to support. So for us, they're a big, big funding entity that we work really hard to be able to, to support.
Amazing.
Yeah, because it would be very costly to do this.
Yeah.
And that's, sometimes parents go out and pay for advocates where, they can get it for free here. But, and then that's why we do our big fundraising events. So we have a lot of local organizations and private centers and private donors that do provide that extra funding for those flexible funds, like for our youth council, for our picnic, for other things that we can do here for the families. So we are lucky to have a lot of community partners, because you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone. And we are, we're really blessed to have people that buy into the mission of Parent to Parent. So, we are lucky to have people that care and want to make a good impact for the families and our children with disabilities. So, my big hashtag is always dream big for kids with disabilities.
I love it.
And it takes a whole community to make that happen.
So if a family is watching this right now, what would you say would be the best way for them to contact you guys to get, involved with Parent to Parent?
It's real easy. All they have to do is give us a call, 305-271-9797. They give us a call. We start a little intake process. It's available in English and Spanish. And we assign them to an education support specialist. So again, it's another parent who has had a lot of training and knows a lot about the resources and all the information that they need to have. But that's it. Or they can go on our website. We have an intake portal on the website.
Okay.
Again, available in English and Spanish. They complete it, and we give them a call within a couple of days. And, they can have a therapist call us, and refer them in. So we get referrals from everyone. We can
All
be
right.
calling, again, a parent. And sometimes it's one parent that has been helped that is talking to another parent, and they say, hey, no, you really need to give Parent to Parent.
So like word of mouth.
Word of mouth, Parent to Parent.
Yeah, Parent to
right?
Parent.
So it is a network that really does help. But we have the school system that brings in referrals. We have professionals, therapists, doctors, all kinds of people in our community that are referring parents to us. But it's real simple. It can start just with a simple phone call.
So then it's like you said, it's a parent calling another parent.
Yeah.
And they're just the reassurance of somebody that just gets it.
Yeah.
They've been through it and they know what they're talking about, and they're highly trained, like you said.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I'll have all the information with parents in our description, phone numbers, website, so the parents can get in contact with you, get the ball rolling if they need services, they need help, and just let the parents know, like, they're not alone. Parent to Parent of Miami is here, and whatever they need.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. It's really important to have other parents know that they're not alone. They're not alone. There is a network that's available for them, and we can support them along the way for as long as they want us to be there.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.